Texas has 3 major theme parks featuring some pretty amazing coasters. From the intense launch of Mr. Freeze at Over Texas, to the crazy that is Wonder Woman Golden Lasso of Fiesta, Texas, and the Airtime Machine Still Ill at SeaWorld San Antonio. But after visiting Magic Mountain, Six Flags Great America, Six Flags Over Georgia, it's pretty obvious there are some gaps in the lineup of each park and Texas in general. First, let's look at each part separately, starting with SeaWorld San Antonio, and give them a coaster that helps them and all of us enthusiasts here in Texas. Like each SeaWorld park, they have a version of the iconic Journey to Atlantis that takes you up and drops you into a splash-inducing dive. Next is the Batman clone, Great White, that takes you on 5 inversions while yourself are dangling from the track. Then there is Still Eel, the Morgan Airtime Machine featuring multiple camelbacks. Then Wavebreaker, the Rescue Coaster, which is a family and multi-launch. And lastly, the newest addition, the out-of-control Texas Stingray, the tallest, fastest wooden coaster in Texas. Oops, I almost forgot Grover's Boxcar Derby. Wouldn't want to miss that. Of the 3 major parks in Texas, sorry, Coderland, I can't call you that yet, SeaWorld San Antonio has by far the fewest coasters, but arguably not the worst mix for what they have. However, there are a whole bunch of types of coasters that they could certainly use, such as a spinning type of coaster, a hyper, or an extreme multi-launch, wing, dive, or even Eurofighter style. So many options, so few time. I think to set them apart, I would go big and do a time traveler style mock extreme spinner, which would give them another launch, more inversions, and the spin they need. If that's a little too much, perhaps we should give them something like a Eurofighter. The crowds have never been awful when I've been there, and so the lower capacity shouldn't hurt too much. But let's keep with the Mack Extreme Spinner. I mean, we're dreaming, right? Next up is the OG Six Flags Over Texas. The lineup here is stronger than SeaWorld, but way less than you would expect from such an iconic park in the soon-to-be 3rd largest metro area in the country. You have your Wile E. Coyote Kids Coaster, Mini Mine Train, Runaway Mine Train, the Indoor Runaway Mountain, the only surviving bobsled, La Vibora, Hypercoaster and Titan, a double loop with a shockwave, a spinner with Pandemonium, a Woody with Judge Joy Scream, the first RMC hybrid in the new Texas Giant, an SNS Free Spin Joker, a Batman clone, and that intense launch with Mr. Freeze, and another launcher with a new Aquaman. Wow, that is a lot of coasters, but in all those coasters there are only 8 inversions, and this must be corrected. At this park, with so many firsts like the first Flume Ride, the first Mine Train coaster, the first RMC, of course we'd welcome being the first of, let's say, the long-hyped T-Rex or Axis coaster. But you know what? I'll let that go. We'll go with another strong Woody in the caliber of Apocalypse, perhaps. Whereas I think about the need for many more inversions, I think maybe a multi-launch like Maverick, but with more inversions, would be so very sweet. Okay, I'll even be willing to take a relocated Scream from Magic Mountain. But if I have my final say, my final gift, I'm going to say a beautiful, grace-filled wing coaster stretching across the skyline. That would be amazing. Okay, Six Flags Fiesta Texas is stacked too, with 12 coasters that have a total of 22 inversions. They have the newly renamed Batgirl Coaster Chasers, the new and barely running dueling Kid Flash Cosmic Coaster, the original SNS 40 Free Spin Batman, Goliath, the mirrored Batman clone, saved from Six Flags New Orleans after Katrina. Yes, that's 3 Batmans in Texas and 2 in San Antonio, if you're keeping track. Next up is Boomerang. Then the second RMC hybrid, Iron Rattler. The original RMC Raptor single rail Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. Pandemonium. A Premier Rides launcher Poltergeist. The first Alan Schilke designed coaster, the Roadrunner Express. The B&M Mini Dive Coaster, Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, with 2 inversions. And last but not least, the amazing B&M Floorless Superman Krypton Coaster that throws you off the quarry wall twice. So what do you give the park that seems to have everything? Well, you could go with the before-mentioned T-Rex or the Max Spinner that we gave to SeaWorld. But I think we'd really stand out here would be a flying coaster. Can you just see yourself flying off that quarry wall face down, dive looking back into the wall, and speeding sideways parallel face towards the wall right there so close you're afraid you might scrape your legs? I think that would be epic. That'd be a great choice, I think, for San Antonio. So now we've gifted each park a special ride that helps Texas in general. How does it help Texas so much? Well, the closest wing coaster is all the way in Dollywood, 900 miles away. The closest flying coaster is all the way into Six Flags over Georgia, 800 miles away. Mack Extreme Spinner, yeah, there's one not too far, 6 or 7 hours away in Branson, Missouri. But hey, we need the inversions, we need the spin. That was perfect for SeaWorld San Antonio. So the question is, can we actually get these? Well, the rumors are in 2028, over Texas is going to get something good. Hopefully that will be the case. And SeaWorld San Antonio, they've been adding stuff left and right, it seems like. And of course, Fiesta Texas, they get stuff all the time. But hey, this would make things great right here in Texas to have these 3 new rides and these 3 parks. And okay, now that we can talk about Codaland with Palindrome and Circuit Breaker, man, Texas will be stacked. We just need the tallest, fastest, longest. Oh wait, I guess that's going to Qiddiya. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let's get ready, Texas, for some great coasters in the days ahead.